So the hard part is just to remember which formula is for which. Okay, so the more complicated formula is based on compounding a certain set number of times per year. The PERT one is when you are doing something that is continuous. Let's look at an example. So the first example says that we're starting out with $15,800 invested into account, earning 4.6% annual interest for 6.5 years. We're going to do this both ways. What happens if you compound the interest quarterly, and what happens if you compound it continuously? So let's look at compounding this quarterly first. That would be the more complicated formula. That's the A equals P times 1 plus R over N to the NT. Well, we have that our principal in this problem is what you're starting out with, the 15,800. So let's go ahead and plug that in, 15,800. And then we've got times 1 plus, what's our interest rate R? Well, our interest rate R is 4.6%. What is that as a decimal, though? Well, divide that by 100, and it'll become 0.046. It moves the decimal place 2 places to the left. So our interest rate is 0.046. Okay, divided by what goes on the bottom, according to the formula, is your N. How many times per year are you actually going to get interest? Well, we're saying quarterly, which means that means 4 times a year. So we're going to divide by 4. And then raise to we've got the N again, so 4. And then we've got our T here, which is, let's see, according to this problem, our T is 6.5 because it was 6.5 years. So let's plug that in as 6.5. Now, the only thing we have to be careful is that we follow the order of operations here when we plug this into our calculator. So if we're making sure that we're following the order of operations, we'd start by first looking inside of our parentheses, and what we'd start out with first inside of our parentheses is the division. So we'd start out with the 0.046 divided by 4, which is 0.0115. And then we'd go ahead and take that, and we would add it to the 1 that was in front. So what that now gives us is our 15,800, and 1 added to that decimal we got be 1.0115. And I might as well figure out what that new exponent is. So I can go ahead and do the math by figuring out what that multiplies out to. And 4 times 6.5 is just going to be 26. Now the question is, what do I do? Well, order of operations says I need to do the exponent first. So I'll take my 1.0115 and I'll raise it to the 26th. And then I can multiply it by what was out in front, the 15,800, which gets me a total of 21,000. Remember, this is money. $21,270, and this is money, so I only need to round out to the cents, which is 0.13. That's how much money I would end up in my account that includes your original amount and any interest that added on.